Welcome back to the Top 5 Podcast, a show where every week we choose a topic and give it a top 5 ranking. I'm your host, Ron McNerney, and joining with me today are my best friends, Zach Blanner.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Colin Harding.
Everything's good.
And Matt Bush.
Zach does not want the smoke in gun game.
Dude, Matt, what are you doing after this? Because you are getting your ass clapped. That's what's happening.
We'll see.
You annoy me with this stuff. It's driving me wild.
Are you guys going to
I'm gonna need a
vacation
vacation.
in Overwatch? Are you going to vacation in Overwatch?
No, I'm gonna need a vacation after I destroy Matt.
After you get destroyed.
Yeah, but luckily, Ron, why is that a good thing?
Why is it a good thing? Because today's
then I'm gonna
topic
need a
is
vacation.
all about the places we'd rather be than stuck in our home, aka the places where we want to travel to the most at some point in our life.
My next door neighbor's house.
Never been there. But boys,
Neither have I.
I'm starting this week off with my number 5 pick. It's a biggie. My number 5 pick is Tokyo. And
Tokyo.
And all
Japan.
all just for the culture.
Konnichiwa.
I just want to
Dude,
see.
I'm all in on Japan.
I just want to see, like,
Same.
you watch anime on TV. I just want to see it in real life. You know?
You want to
No,
Naruto
for
run with the people who invented it?
Yeah. Did you ever see the memes of like what it's like as soon as you get off the plane into Tokyo and it's just them like in an anime world? Like they're all cartoon all of a sudden
No, I've never seen that.
until they cross the border. Oh, it's fantastic. But yeah, I don't know. Tokyo would be really cool. Plus I gotta see my boys at Sony.
Yeah.
And I gotta throw an egg in Nintendo's building.
Hashtag free melee.
Hashtag free Melee and free everything at this point.
Yeah, really.
But yeah, I was just for the culture, you know?
Yeah,
That's
why Japan? Why Japan? Like why?
Because I don't want to
Why
go
the
to
Japanese
China.
culture?
I was thinking down, like, if I was to go to anywhere, like, in Asia, I'd be like, it'd be Tokyo, you know? I mean, Russia's, like,
Tokyo.
Euro-Asia, but, like, depending on
Eurasia.
what... Eurasia.
It's like the least culture shock too, I think. Like,
Yeah.
it's obviously very different, but a lot of it's
I mean,
mostly the same.
Are you going
I
there
think-
for cities, or are you going there for like the architecture? Are you going there to see the flowers? Like, what do you-
Definitely architecture, and I'm stealing an entire cherry blossom tree. I'm not patient enough to grow one
I love those
back here,
things.
so I'm going to steal an
They're
entire
amazing.
tree
Good luck
onto
getting
the
that
plane.
through all that.
Through customs.
I
I
feel
think
like-
it'll be fine.
Just put it on your bed.
I feel like with like the culture shock, I think we as Americans, we like to think like we're very like technologically savvy, and like, you know what I mean. I feel like going to Japan, everything from at least what I've seen from Japan, I think that they have adopted technology in a completely different way than us. I think that in itself would be such a culture shock. Like getting on a subway and seeing a sea of Vitas and DSs just in everyone's hands, you know?
Yeah.
And like all the type of like ways they utilize technology, even in their toilets. Shout out to the bidet. I really want to
I
experience
I mean,
it.
it's a lot easier to get a lot of technology in Japan and stuff like that because, well, I forget exactly what happened, but was it China put up a tariff now? So now technology is going to be extremely like marked up like 200% or something crazy like that. That comes from China.
I mean, China's plays a super villain role nowadays.
None of that is
None of
accurate,
it
by the
really
way.
surprises,
I'm just like riffing off of like my terrible memory of what I read real quick, but yeah, it's definitely gonna like hit us hard. So I feel like being that close to China, they probably like obviously have good trade relations with them, so they probably get stuff like super cheap. And since they don't have to pay all that money on, you know, like transport and stuff, like all their tech is probably mega cheap.
And I mean, going back to like the culture shock thing too, I feel like if you're going to South Korea, I feel like that's way more of a culture shock than like Tokyo would be, you know?
Oh yeah, like Seoul
I
would
agree.
be
No, that's
Seoul
what
would
I
be
mean.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you still get
I,
that experience, but not be completely out of your element.
Exactly.
I don't
Yeah.
remember what relation he has. I think he's just a really good friend of my my uncle's sister. But he went to South Korea and he like he does business a lot. Like he's like super businessman, right? And he said that whenever he had to learn Korean, he thought it was going to be hard, but he realized in like through like whatever his company hired as like a translator or whatever to teach him, they said that they had to make the language something easy but also very different from North Korean, so that way you could learn it extremely fast and they could get back to their way of life, because they didn't want to be anything like the North Koreans.
Yeah, because when they broke off, they made that language.
Yeah.
So they wanted to teach it to everyone as fast as possible.
And they didn't want like he said you could learn it in like a month. If you like the whole language, you can learn in a month.
If it's an easy language, I'm down. Just to only have like that back pocket party trick of I can speak another language.
I can speak Korean.
And one that
South
wasn't taught like in public school.
I mean,
granted, I took
language
German,
getting taught in public school is a little loose.
Yeah, you're right. I took Spanish in college. I still don't remember anything. So
honestly, taking a language anywhere is pretty bad. You gotta like really like get it from something that isn't.
You're not gonna learn it.
If you're not like living over there and like speaking it natively, it like doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, like you learn so much more just by being in the element.
Mm-hmm. Well, think about like learning about like English, right? Like American English. The way
Oh,
we
it doesn't
speak
make
it,
any
then...
sense.
No, and that, well, I mean, it doesn't make any sense as it does, but then like say like you study, you come over here, and then we're talking about things being lit.
Oh yeah.
And fire. Saying something that's awesome is absolutely disgusting.
Then you have someone saying, "Bro, that's bars, bro."
And it's also like every word has different meanings between like different communities and stuff too. In,
absolutely.
Like, United States English.
Yeah.
I think something that just a fun fact for all of you British people out there that are going to be salty about this.
Greg.
Yeah. Our accent is actually closer to the original English accent, because after we broke off from you, the king or queen or whoever decides to steal your money, they said we can't be anything like them, and then they switched it over to the Queen's English. So we actually have a more original English accent.
Yeah.
Greg.
So like whenever it goes back to like 1776 in movies and they're speaking in weird British accents, that's actually not true.
Yeah. Drink your tea.
I can't wait to tell Greg we gave him a shout out in this podcast. Be like, "Oh, bro, that's awesome. We'll go listen."
That's fine. He's not gonna listen to it.
Yeah, 10 minutes in, he's just gonna turn it right off.
I can't believe you guys are making fun of me again.
But yeah,
that's also thanks to what was, I forget what her name was. I always forget her name, but she got pregnant and then decided to abandon the school. Whenever we were in her class, but
ninth grade?
she had me do all kinds of assignments that nobody else had to do.
Oh god.
I don't remember her name.
It wasn't Miss Melvin. It was
no.
I keep wanting to say Miss Green, but I know that's not.
No, that's who replaced her. That's who replaced her.
Yeah.
I remember because I remember going into junior year or sophomore year, whatever year it was, and like being terrified because everybody hated this girl, and then it was Miss Green. The blessing that Miss Green was there.
Yeah. I don't remember her name, but I just remember she gave me all kinds of crazy assignments. Like I was like really sick in 9th grade as well. So like I would come back from like 2 days of being off school and she'd be like, "Hey Colin, I signed this assignment, like you got to do it." I'd come back in and like literally nobody would have any other assignments. I'd give a presentation and then like I'd sit down and like somebody go over to me and they'd be like, "Why'd you give a presentation?" I was like, "Didn't you guys just give presentations like yesterday? Like didn't you go to the library on Monday and research and then do presentations on Tuesday?" And they were like, "No." And I was like, "That's what she just told me. That's why I did all this like tonight, like or
she
last night."
Made you do it just because you weren't there.
No, because I still had to do all my makeup work.
Oh.
She had me do it all the time, and like, obviously I'm not gonna sit there and say no, I'm not doing this assignment because nobody else got it, because she's just gonna be like, "All right, then you get a C on this assignment or whatever." But I don't know. It aggravated me, but I learned a lot whenever she had me do those things, and that was one of the things that I learned.
Well, Colin.
Yeah.
Sounds like you need a vacation.
I do.
So
need
as
a
your
vacation.
number 5 pick, where would you go?
So my list, I'm not like, here's the thing is like, the biggest thing that dictates on where I go is I have the Google Chromecast, and they always use special images from Google, like paid Google images and stuff that Google like has from like special nature photographers and stuff. So like a lot of that, like I write it down and I forget like what it is, and like they're just like randomly scattered through my notes and stuff of my world. But my list isn't like dedicated. Like if somebody came up to me tomorrow and said, "What's your top 5 places?" I'm sure it'll change. Like these aren't something that I'm like, "Oh my god, I have to go here before I die." These are just cool places that I remember that I wanted to go see like in the last month or something. So my number 5 is actually one that I just want to go do again because I did it whenever I was really young, and that's Disney World. I would like to go as an adult to Disney World and just have like a really good time.
So, Colin, in 2022, we're all just gonna have a squad trip to Disney World.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Like I
Zach still
want to
has
go
to
back
go.
to Disney World.
I've never been.
been.
Matt needs.
Never
Well,
been.
Zach's been more vocal about it though, Matt. So Zach like
3
needs
years
to go.
ago. 3 years ago, I asked all of you, "Hey, can we like please plan like a trip to Disney World? Like even if it's a few years out." And you all told me to go screw off.
I had no money 3 years ago.
Yeah, I
Well,
didn't
yeah,
have
but
any
you-
money.
Yeah, but you were
that's
saying
why I
like
said,
let's go do it
later
like
on.
now.
No, I was saying like
No,
let's just
'cause I
commit to
specifically-
saving money.
I specifically remember whenever that happened, and I was just like, nobody has any money. And then I said, no, I literally cannot afford to go to Disney World right now. And
No,
you were
I
like,
couldn't
well, I
afford
want to
it
do it
either.
within a year. Like, let's schedule it for next year. And I was like, I still can't afford it next year. Like, I don't make that much money.
We'll think of something.
I just specifically remember that happening.
We might be able to go in the fall, theoretically.
No, I want to go after I'm done with school. If we go.
That's fair.
So what, in 10 years?
Yeah, 10 years from now, probably. Honestly, I don't know if I'll ever be done.
But Colin,
You'll
why
get there.
Disney?
I just want to go again.
Yeah.
And they've added a ton of stuff since I've been there as like a young
Star Wars
child
stuff?
that I don't
Yeah, they have, like,
remember
a whole
a
Star
lot of
Wars
what was there
section of
too.
the park,
Oh
whatever.
man,
They have like the
Join
Marvel
Empire, die.
section now too, right? As of this year, like sometime this year, they're gonna finish it.
I don't know.
Surprise me.
I think they
Sounds like
have a
something they
park
do.
or something or some attraction for Marvel too. It's probably gonna go when all that stuff's open too.
I mean, they definitely have like diners and stuff set up for them.
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, I want to go back to Disney as an adult so bad. I've been there 3 times, but like one of them I really don't remember. But it was awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
I want to go back. We'll all go someday. I promise, Zachary. But Zach, tell us
What's
what
up?
your number 5 is.
My number 5 is Rio de Janeiro,
Ooh.
specifically during the time period of Carnival.
Oh, well, that's
Ah.
never happening. Get in a time machine then.
What?
I don't know why you want to go there though. Like you got to go like way before modern time.
Well, yeah,
Why?
but I mean, we're talking like now though. Zach, why do you want to go? Explain
don't
to
know.
Colin why you want to go.
Because it just looks like a blast. Like, especially during, like, I forget if they call it Carnival or if they call it something else, but, like, just that, like, what? It's Rio, New Orleans, and Paris, or no, Venice, that, like, all celebrate, Carnival or Mardi Gras or whatever it is, and it just seems like it'd be such a fun event to be at, in Rio.
Have you watched
I
Rio,
think-
the movie?
I've seen both of them. It's pretty awesome.
There's 2.
I have to be honest with you. I don't know if you could pay me to go to Rio. I would not want to go there.
I don't know. I think it looks cool. The jungle, like it looks very pretty. All the different kinds of birds and wildlife. You got the giant statue of the Jesus up there, greeting the bay or whatever they made it for. Doing the T-pose.
He hasn't loaded it
Yeah,
yet.
I don't know. I think it's a really cool place. Something like, and I want to go to South America at some point, just to see it, and because I think it's such a different like place in the world, like comparatively to other, like there's not really like jungles quite like that, like with the Amazon and things like that in other areas of the world. So it just looks really cool. So
I don't know. Unless
Go-
you're hiring like a bodyguard or like 2 bodyguards, I wouldn't even bother.
If you're gonna see
I'm
the,
not too worried about that.
if you're gonna see the,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, you
What are you gonna
just
do,
said
I
it,
guess?
but you got to make sure you go before they tear down the whole forest. So
Yeah, that's another thing.
it ain't looking good.
Dude, I want to go. I want
unfortunate.
to capture a parrot.
That's
know?
why you want to go. Yeah, someone who
Yeah,
will sing
yeah.
with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Exactly.
Can't get parrots here in the U.S.
Dude, I don't know if I ever told you this, but
Not
I
a
was in
good
this
parrot.
like
No, but
exotic.
it's a different bond if you capture it with your bare hands.
No, it for sure is. But I was in this exotic bird store this one time, and there was a raven in this place. It was like in a corner cage, this big cage. And I walked up to it and I was looking at it. And I was reading like the little plaque by it. And this thing hopped up in front of me on like the little bar or whatever, looks me dead in the eyes and just goes, "Hi," in a real human's voice. And I lost my mind. They can completely, perfectly mimic any sound that they hear that they like. So that is why that happens. It's not like if you're talking to a bird of that level, it's not just like, "Oh, Paulie want a cracker," or
Are you
whatever
talking
it
about
is.
the one from China? I think it is.
I don't know. I mean, maybe the
There's one
bird.
in China that can actually like completely mimic like any sound.
I know. I think a few species of parrot and ravens. Ravens can completely mimic noise as well. But yeah, this thing is just like "Hi" in like a human voice. Like scared everything out of me. But yeah,
Matt,
birds are cool.
Yeah, Zach loves his birds.
I think Rio's cool to see in movies, and that's about as much as I'll bother with it until they like fix all their issues, which probably will never happen. It's really bad down there,
Well, Colin, get ready for my number 4, which is Bolivia.
dude. No, all you need to say is Venezuela now, and I'll just be like, all right, this kid just wants to die.
I'll be seeing ya. Matt, does your number 5 include talking ravens?
No, fresh out of talking ravens on my number 5.
Dude, sounds like a number 10 to me.
My my number 5 destination is Yosemite National Park.
Oh,
That's a good one.
wow.
Ooh.
We're going homeland. Okay.
I'd like to
We're
camp
going
there.
homeland mostly because it's a really good place to rock climb, and I really want to do like a rock climbing
I miss
themed
rock
trip
climbing.
at one point. Dude, they have I keep wanting to go to the place in Southside and just get a membership down there.
Ascend.
But,
Dude.
and then Rona hit, and now it's like I don't want to go down there and start doing that yet. Until
Matt, I'll tell you what. I just came into roughly $90 worth of Groupon tokens. If you find a climbing place, I'm all in. I'm all in for it. I gotta spend them in the next 2 days, otherwise I lose $90 worth of fake money. So
fake money that's also real money.
Yeah, that was real money. That I just dumb. I was just dumb when I bought that.
We can find one. There has to be like a climbing.
Dude,
place.
I mean,
I'm all in.
Ascend
I'll
might
go
have some
climbing.
Groupons.
You might have to do
It
like
might,
private
yeah.
scheduled parties at Ascend right now.
You know what I did just do?
I'm sure it's like a hassle for them to go in and clean that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
They're even
Yeah.
running stuff.
Oh, for sure. With all that chalk and everything, especially. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. No doubt.
What were you gonna say, Zach?
And like that, and like also like the scenery out there is like amazing.
It's beautiful.
Like just
Yeah.
going out and
It's in-
hiking and like canoeing and stuff like that. I think it's
Is it-
Wyoming. I could be wrong.
Wyoming? Okay.
It's in like that area, like
Hmm.
the Wyoming, Montana, like basically the middle of nowhere. But I would
Yeah.
love to like just go hiking and canoeing, and especially go rock climbing out there because Yosemite is one of the best places to rock climb in like the whole world.
I believe you.
It seems like a very like
I mean,
a
from what I
nice,
understand,
like,
it's also
getaway.
one of the most difficult places to rock climb.
Oh
because of
yeah,
the
I
very
mean,
soft rock.
brutal.
It
This
seems
is a
like
little
it'd be
off
like a
topic.
nice like getaway
There's this
place.
documentary of this dude who like all he does is like free solo climbs. So he'll just,
Oh,
like,
yeah, I saw that
climb
one.
without a rope. Did you see that documentary?
Yeah, well,
With
he
the
has a
dude,
world
I forget
record.
what he free soloed. Like what?
Dude, he
what race it
solos
was.
everything now. Like I
It
think
was
I think
in
at this
like
point he's
Yosemite,
basically
and it
done
was like
everything.
it's like regarded as like the most difficult climb ever, and he did it without a rope, and
Yeah.
like under like 2 hours. Like it
Oh
was
my
it was
God.
insane to watch.
Yeah, he has
That's
big
crazy.
he has big Red Bull sponsorship from what I remember.
That makes sense.
Dude, I don't even know if I can handle the mental anxiety.
No, because that's one of the big things that he goes over in the
Well,
documentary.
don't forget
is,
a lot of those people like they're
Like,
just
he
there
got
for the adrenaline rush.
he got a CAT scan, the dude who did it, and the doctor was like, your brain does not process fear like everyone else does. So he's like literally incapable of being afraid all
So
his
he's
life. Not
goated.
like incapable, but he doesn't get as scared and freaked out as everyone else would going up there.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's kind of like those people in Russia and like Croatia that just do building climbing and
Yeah,
like
they just hang
do
off
the weird
buildings
like
and stuff.
they just hang off of buildings or like they ride a bicycle on the edge of a building or something. Like those people are just there for the adrenaline rush. That way they can get like super high.
Yeah, or just
Yeah.
like hang off of waterfalls and shit.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, adrenaline is a crazy drug that your brain just gives you sometimes,
Oh yeah.
For
which
free.
is wild. For
Yeah,
free.
it's free.
I mean, aside from the fact that you need to get up into like a mountain or do something ridiculously dangerous.
So we're just have somebody scare the
fear of
crap out of
God
you.
is a good drug, is what you're saying, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fear of God. Yeah.
Having somebody scare the crap out of you gives you that adrenaline too. Or like whenever you're like really in the zone on Overwatch, you get a little bit of adrenaline.
That's called being sweaty, Colin.
Bro, I don't care if I'm sweaty. If I win, I win.
Well, Matt, do you have anything else to say about your number 5?
Not particularly, no.
All right, cool. All right, boys. My number 4 pick is New Zealand, specifically the South Island,
Oi,
New Zealand. Is
are there,
where I would-
are there more than two? Like more.
Where all
Southbound.
those nice flower fields are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the beautiful flower fields, all the mountains. Oh, it's beautiful.
Is
If you
that
haven't-
where Lord of the Rings was filmed, or is that on a combination of both, or is it the
I
first?
thought that was like in their mountain range.
I think so. Yeah. If you haven't seen it before, I would recommend googling some pictures.
Would you
of it, but
do
it's
the Lord of
beautiful.
the Rings super nerd block if you were to go there?
No, because the first movie was boring. I can't imagine doing it again. But
See, that's where you're correct.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings is not a good movie.
I think I saw a thing saying that like if someone were to actually walk like the distance they did in the Lord of the Rings, it was like something like from New York City all the way over to like Nevada or something like that was the like scale of distance that they
Jesus.
walked, which is kind of wild on one hand.
And
Which
they only slept 3 times.
yeah, but yeah, I'm not a fan of Lord of the Rings, so sorry everyone.
I think
None of
Lord of
us
the
really
Rings
are.
really required you to be growing up in the 90s and then also read all of the books and never see any of the movies until you read the books.
Well, I saw a thing saying that George, no, it's not George, whatever his name is,
Tolkien.
J.R.
yeah.
Tolkien.
J.R. Tolkien, yeah, he claimed that it wasn't fiction that he was writing. It was just it was a history during World War II that actually happened that nobody knows about. Did you ever see that? I saw like I saw a
I think
thread
it
on
was.
Reddit
I
talking
think it was
about
that
this.
he was trying to document history in World War II through it by like capturing the moments as fiction.
I don't think I at least what I read on Reddit, that wasn't it. It
Oh, so it was on
He
Reddit.
was adamant that it was real. I mean, okay, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's.
Well,
I'm not speaking facts
he
right now. I'm
also-
not saying like, oh, this is true, but
He also
Yeah.
has thousands of versions of was it The Hobbit? Well, actually, it's really every book he has like
dude,
a few
if he has
hundred
thousands
versions of it.
The Hobbit. He should have picked a different one.
But what he does, what his like nephew or somebody like described to whatever reporter or whatever it was that I was watching, basically he decides like every time he stops writing, he rewrites everything. So like
That's
if
a
he
vibe,
stops
honestly.
writing, he will go back and rewrite the whole book because he wants it to be perfect. So he like remembers all the scenes in his head and how he wants them to be. And like he'll subtly remember like how he wanted them and like how he described them, and then he'll describe them the way he truly wants it. And like that's why there's like hundreds of versions of like each book, because he would start with like chapter 1, he'd write like 2 pages in chapter 1, and then he'd rewrite those 2 pages of chapter 1 and then finish 3 pages of chapter 1 and then like continue that way. And it was like, to me that's like insane.
But yeah, so like the reason I chose New Zealand pretty much was just because after I've looked it up before, and like just for like the if I had this much money, where would I vacation to? But I think New Zealand and the South Island looks like a beautiful place like to ever like skydive and stuff, or just
I want to go
canoe ride, or just do like a whole bunch of just like nature stuff, or adrenaline stuff. I think would be really awesome there. And all the flowers are beautiful.
It'd be cool to set up like a little like
campsite
hammock
and stuff.
or campsite with
Yeah.
like an open tent
Mm-hmm.
and just like enjoy the outside out there.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. But yeah, that's my number 4. Originally it was Poland, but then I was like, nah. Originally it was just because it's just more mountainous and stuff. And I guess Witcher School.
I mean,
yeah.
You still gotta go to the Witcher School, Ron.
Yeah. Sure. No. But yeah.
I don't like the way you said that.
Yeah.
Just let me believe that
It's
you're
very
on the
dismissive.
Witcher School.
I mean, I could LARP around for I guess like
You know,
7
I'm a
days.
LARP for a week about being witchers.
Yeah. So yeah, South Island, New Zealand's my number 4.
Cancel him, everyone.
Okay.
I mean, Zach was all into LARPing for Percy Jackson whenever we were in like what 11th grade.
LARPing for what? What the
Remember
hell are
you wanted to
talking
do
about?
you wanted to do the Percy Jackson thing. You were like, it's like $30. Do you not
What?
remember this? Do you not remember this
There's
at all,
like
dude? You were on this for like a month.
There's a Percy Jackson camp for children.
No, like it was
In,
like,
like,
you had to go
Texas?
to like no, you had to go like to a like different country. That you were like, oh my god, I want to do this so bad because like I can pick what school I'm in, I can do this, I can do that. And you were like, I just
I
want to do
think you're
this.
talking about the Witcher School. I think
No.
you think of the Witcher School.
No,
where
it
we go to
100%
Poland
was Percy
and-
Jackson because it was whenever you were on your Percy Jackson hype.
I don't know, Chief. I don't know.
It's alright. I
don't know.
remember.
It's,
a lot.
it's fine.
the-
Zach's a LARPer. That's pretty much where we're getting at.
I remember a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
guess
crazy
so,
things.
yeah.
So
Colin, what's your number 4?
my number 4 is basically just based off the fact that I want to go somewhere where there's more like nice clear water and sun. And since like Bora Bora was the last one that I thought of, I think Bora Bora is a good number 4. I just want to go somewhere where there's clear water and I can sit around on the beach and just do nothing. And then like, have a resort bring me food and shit.
Commit some piracy, you know.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Soon
We're gonna
will
go to the
time
Middle
come.
East and be pirates.
So Colin wants to do piracy, so he is also LARPing. He's gonna have a little hook hands and a peg leg.
No, I'm gonna dress up as Jack Sparrow.
Gonna be
What are
out
you
there
talking
singing
about?
sea shanties.
Yeah.
Soon
Colin,
will
are you
time come.
an ocean person?
Bring
Are
a
you
sugar
swimming in
tea.
this? Are you swimming in the ocean? Or no?
Oh yeah.
Dude, if I could see through the ocean, I'm all in. But I hate the ocean. The Atlantic Ocean is the worst ocean.
Is the worst
It's
lotion.
the worst ever.
No, it's
the
just
worst
like
ocean.
anywhere from South Carolina above is terrible because it's all dark. But like as soon as you
No,
pass
even
South
then.
Carolina, it's clear.
I mean, maybe that's the case. I don't know. I just don't enjoy it. Every ocean I've been to.
Water was pretty clear when we were there.
Oh yeah,
Matt,
Fort
we just
Lauderdale, the
covered-
water was crystal.
Oh, I have
What's
never
up?
been to Florida. So we just covered how I've never been to Florida.
Well, we said this.
I was in Florida.
Having
actually,
never been
once
to
when I was
Disney
young.
World and Florida are two different things, my guy.
I mean, that's fair. You're right.
like
But I would
so
like to
much else to
believe
do.
that if I entered Florida, it would be for Disney World.
How do I know that though?
I mean, you're right. But like, I would like to think that we just know each other a little better, you know?
Could have been
That's why we
Miami.
have
Could have
this
been to Fort
podcast.
Lauderdale.
Yeah,
Could have been to
yeah.
like
Key
literally
West,
anywhere. Yeah.
Florida.
But Colin, anything else to say about your number 4?
No, I just want to go somewhere nice. My parents, I forget where they went. They went somewhere. It starts with a C. It's not like close by.
Cancun?
Obviously, you have to take a plane. No. It's like a little island.
There's Turks and Caicos.
I want to say like
One of those words has a C.
it's like Coro. Anybody who's listening and you hear this, you'll probably know what I'm saying, and then you'll be like, "Wow, what a
Canada.
But no, but yeah, it was
Catalina?
really cool. No, it's like down in
That's
like
not
the
allowed
little
up there.
Gulf.
What, like
But,
Curacao?
Yeah, Carousel.
Yeah, I've been there.
Curacao. That's what
I've
they
been
call
there.
it.
That place is beautiful.
Yeah, I'd like to go to Curacao too. I mean, like basically just somewhere where there's clear water. I just like that because
Yeah.
like it feels nice. Because like we go
I
to
went
South
there on a
Carolina every
cruise.
year, and like I don't know, it hurts a little bit whenever you're just sitting there and you're like, I don't know, this ocean water doesn't feel the same. Like even though it is totally the same water, it just doesn't feel.
I don't think it
too.
is,
It's
though.
too rocky. Or I don't want to say rocky, but it's too rough. Tides are different there, so that's why it's all dirty.
The Moon Man hits it different.
Yeah,
Man.
I mean the Moon Man does hit it different. Quite literally.
It's like two expressions rolled up into one.
It's like your opinion, man.
It is.
Zach, what's your number 4?
Yo, my number 4 is Egypt.
Yo.
I want to go to Egypt so incredibly bad. I want
Man
to
hates
see
sand.
the pyramids and I want to camp out in the desert so bad.
See, I
The
think
man
the
who
had a
hates
thing.
camel.
sand more than anyone wants to go to Egypt.
I hate sand unbelievably, but I feel
I
like
despise sand.
but
My
I feel like
girlfriend
if I'm
didn't
mentally
understand how much I
prepared,
hated sand whenever we went to the beach this summer.
but
and
I
she
feel
would
like if
do
I'm
all kinds of crap.
I feel like if I'm mentally prepared, and honestly, I don't even know if it's necessarily sand that I hate, but more so the culmination between water and sand, because those are the two worst combinations of elements out there. But I feel like if I'm mentally prepared that, okay, I'm going to be surrounded by sand, I'm going to be much more willing to just accept sand in my life. But
That's fair.
I think it'd be so cool to see the pyramids and see how big they are and, you know,
How the aliens
tour
put it
around
there.
them. Yeah, exactly. See how I actually measure up to them. I think honestly, what really solidified this for me was playing Assassin's Creed Origins, because being able to see the pyramids like almost anywhere you are in the game, they just look so beautiful. The way the sand just kind of cascades over itself. It's like its own little ocean. It just looks so cool. It's definitely a place I want to just kind of exist in for, just a little more than just like a day or so. And camels. It's definitely a part of the world that I think is very interesting, like the Middle East, and like I don't know if Egypt is considered the Middle East or more closer to Africa. I feel like it's kind of.
I think it's considered Middle East.
I think it
I
is
think
Middle
it's
Yeah.
Africa.
It's
I mean,
in
it's-
Africa, but I think it's still like a region. Middle East.
It's like yeah. It's
Middle-
like
I mean, it's
right-
not like in Africa. It covers both sides, so I think it's still considered Middle East, though.
Yeah, but I just think it's such a like. It sucks that like the political climate is how it is over there, but
Oh yeah,
but like I just think as far as like the landscape and the way everything looks, I think it just looks beautiful. I really would love just to be there for like a week and experience it and see what it's like.
I saw this thing
That's
on
wonderful.
Twitter where they said that Cleopatra died closer to the opening of the first Pizza Hut than the Roman Empire. And I haven't.
Well, dude, do you know what she used to do? She used to say that she'd sleep with any man as long as they agreed to be executed the next day.
Really, I've never
Yeah.
seen that before. No.
You've
That's
never
real,
seen
yeah,
that?
she
No,
used-
it's awesome.
She used to do that. She would
That's
sleep
kinda
with any man
powerful.
as long as they agreed to be executed the next day. Yeah.
We need that in our culture.
Imagine, yeah.
from what I've heard from people that I know that have gone to Egypt, they say it's very underwhelming. They say it's kind of like you see it and then you're like, oh, it's not like the way Origins makes it look makes you think it's going to be a lot better than it is.
Well,
I don't
Origins
know.
is
I just think it's
entertainment.
cool.
But Zach, are you gonna go into the pyramids and play like crazy triangle laser tag, like with mummies and stuff? You know, like that's all it is, just a big arcade and a casino.
It's just a big arcade.
America
Dude, I'm
got
gonna
to
go
it
to the
first
dude
and
from,
made a
from
casino
Despicable
out of the
Me.
pyramid.
I didn't know Bender was making pyramids.
I'm gonna square up with Anubis. We're gonna have a big long conversation about life,
Yeah.
and one of us is coming out of that pyramid. Did you ever see that movie, The Pyramid?
No.
You ever see it?
No.
It's not. It's a good like.
It's a good
shitty,
average?
like
Yeah.
horror movie. You know what I mean?
Okay. Oh, it's a horror movie.
It's like, yeah, it's about like these people. They're out in like Egypt or wherever they are, and they find like a pyramid that's been buried by sand. And they go in, all of a sudden, like there's cats everywhere, and then like Anubis is there, and he's like murdering all of them. So
Temple
It's like-
of Anubis.
it's good for sure. Like it's not a good movie, but it's like a good not good movie.
And then
I think that's the best part is in Overwatch lore, they just built a massive city around his temple. like
Yeah.
there's just a temple in the center of a city, and like then there's like another cat like thing in the center of the city. I'm actually there right now.
What?
He's playing Overwatch.
I do that to occupy my fingers.
I see.
Matthew, what's your number 4?
It was a rough transition, but we'll go for it, I guess.
Gotta yell it out.
My number 4 is Alaska. I really want to
Ooh,
go.
Anchorage.
Yeah, I really want to go up and experience like the landscape, because I feel like it'd be really fun to just like hike around and like kayak
What?
and canoe.
What season would you go in?
Probably
You
the
basically
summer,
have to go summer.
because like
The season of the sun.
if you go in the winter, you might be stuck there.
Matt's gonna get
You
chased
look
by
like a
polar
mug.
bears the whole time.
But I feel like this, like the environment would be really cool to experience, and plus,
Yeah.
like what I really want to do is go out in like the middle of nowhere and just like look at the stars,
Mm.
because like
Dude.
that's like
Yeah.
definitely like that was one of the things I was looking for when I was making my list. Is like where can I go that's like up north, and I
Mm.
can just like see stars like for miles, because
Yeah.
like you can like sort of experience that here in the States, but not really. Like you have to be out in the middle. Of, like,
Yeah, you're
Right.
not doing it if you live near the city.
I don't know. Heritage was like pretty good.
Yeah, but it wasn't like
Oh no, it wasn't
mean-
like if you're going out into the middle of like Wisconsin or something.
yeah. Well, I think like for me, Matt, with that, like, I've before this scenario, like, I've heard that oh yeah, the light pollution, they affect the way you see stars and everything like that. I was hunting up in Eary, PA, which isn't even like anything like you think would be crazy, but like the my uncle's place. Say that again, my uncle's place.
Your Brunkle.
He lives out in like this like farm area. They're not really close to like the city up in Erie or anything like that. They're pretty far away from everything. And I was snowmobiling at night through like the woods and everything, and I came out into like this field, and I looked up and the stars blew me away. I've never seen anything like that, and I think the idea that they get better the more away from things
Oh
you
yeah,
get
it's insane.
is incredible. I remember just stopping and laying in the middle of this field staring at stars, and I've never seen stars like that in my life.
Yeah,
That's another thing about like kind of backtracking to Egypt. I feel like the stars would look awesome out there.
it really just reconnects.
I don't
you to
know
nature.
because there's like towns and cities nearby, so probably not.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends where I
Like
go.
the pyramids are only like 2 miles away from a city or something like that. Like they're really not that far. Like it's closer than it is to get to Pittsburgh from where we are.
Well, as far as the pyramids go, and like me camping, like those are like two different things I don't want to do. Like I wouldn't necessarily want to camp near the pyramids. I just want to camp in the desert, like overall. So wherever that takes me, I guess.
Yeah, Matt, even like getting like beautiful views, like obviously I'm sure Alaska would be better, but like up like very north of like Michigan, over where you can get it here, it's like beautiful there too. And if you're lucky, like depending on everything, because we're not like in Canada or like Greenland, you could probably see the northern lights from there and everything too. Alaska you can, I believe, but
I think so.
yeah.
You might have to go super far north. Also, I think I love seafood, so I would definitely want to go up and try some like Alaskan seafood. That and like especially like the crabs, like those massive crabs that they pull out of the water.
Yeah,
That's all.
Oh yeah.
that'd be fire. Fresh crab. Oof.
There's nothing.
Honestly,
better,
like
honestly.
those restaurants in like specifically what I'm going to reference is South Carolina. The restaurants that are like on the on any of the outlets or well inlets. Any of the inlets are on like the ocean that get fresh seafood. It's so different. It is so different. Like we went and we paid like it was high end, but I'm not going to say it was super expensive, and wow, was the fish phenomenal. So I can only imagine what like some of the fish up there tastes like especially the crab. I'm a big fan of crab.
Crab is fire. I'll stand by crab. Yeah, Matt, anything you want to say about your Alaskan bullworm?
It's big, scary, and pink.
Yeah, no, like if there's a reason why the crab go extinct, it'll be because Colin ate them all. Like that will be the reason.
That adds up, to
I
be
know,
honest.
it's like I think that's lobsters. Like lobsters just like can't actually die of old age. They only die because they
Yeah,
can't.
they only die
Like,
because
no. That's
somebody
the coolest thing ever.
another lobster kills them.
Yeah.
We kill them, or they die of not being able to fit in their environment.
Alligators are the same way too.
Yeah.
It's scary.
I mean, those things.
Those freaking dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs, dude.
Oh, do you remember? No, Zach, you weren't there. Never mind. I was gonna say, remember
Survived an
whenever we were
extinction level event just to eat house pets.
whenever we were down in Florida for the whatchamacallit, me and John, I love that man. I'm so sad to see him go, but we
Shout out
were
to John Antonucci.
yeah, shout out to John. I love him.
John was
One of my
great.
favorite cousins.
Passed a little too soon.
Yeah.
Way too soon. I don't even know why I'm saying a little.
but we were like, we don't feel like riding bikes through what's that called again?
You're at Everglades National Park.
Yeah, Everglades. We were at the Everglades, and we were just like, we don't feel like riding bikes through that. That sounds like a pain in the butt. So they were like, yeah, we have tours, and we were like, okay, we'll wait for the tour. And everybody else got on a bike, and we get in this tour, and it's just me and him. And I promise you, this man that was giving the tour was just like, where are you guys from? And we were like, we're from Pittsburgh. And he's like, why are you here? He's like, oh, we're Boy Scouts on a trip. And he was like, oh, no way. Okay. And then he stops the tram and he goes, all right, let's go out into the Everglades. I'm going to show you how to survive in the Everglades. And we were like, no way. And he took us out and he's like, we're standing there and he's like, guess what? And we're like, what? And he's like, there is an alligator right below you right now. And we look down and there's this, like, I'm not kidding you, like, in between us and him is this like 7-foot alligator just sitting there. And he's like, yeah, they're really not that vicious if they're not hungry. And we're like, you just took the chance that they're not hungry? And he was like, well,
how do you know that they're not how that this one is not hungry?
Oh, because I took a bunch of kids out here earlier and the alligator ate them.
And he was like, yeah, so like, don't really worry about alligators because they're usually well fed here. He says the only time they don't get well fed is like towards the winter because the soft shell turtles don't come out as much. And then he was like, okay, now I'll take you in here. And he took us into, since it's a giant river, all the little
You're standing
things there.
in like the swamp. You're standing in the swamp.
We're standing in the river. It's not a swamp. It's a river.
What?
It's a river. No, it is a river.
Everglades?
Yeah, it's it's the biggest river in the world or something like that. Because it's only like 2 inches deep at its lightest, and it's like 4 inches deep at its heaviest or something. But he was like showing us all around the Everglades, and he was like, okay, these are called I forget what his classification of them are, but these are called thick islands. And they have all the really like harsh shrubbery and stuff in it. That's where you go if it's cold. So like at night, whenever it gets really cold, go into there and it'll be really warm because all of the heat will get trapped in there. That's where all the critters go to sleep at night, like all the small critters that you don't have to worry about. And then he was like, and then that place over there, those are called I'm going to call them thin islands, where like not huge shrubbery grows. And you can go there to get your food and like water and stuff because there's not a bunch of water here on the ground, as you can tell, because we're not getting muddy and blah, blah, blah. So it was really cool to have that happen. But whenever he said look down, and me and John were just like, and you just took the chance that this alligator wasn't gonna kill us. And then he was also like, well, they also don't attack things that are taller than them unless they're starving.
And then he just pushes you in and says, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
But I thought that was pretty funny.
Don't lay down.
Me and John had a good time on that trip.
Boys.
Yeah.
To swing it back to old Nerney, my number 3 pick is the Great Barrier Reef. Asterisk before it dies more. Because we haven't done too good of a job and checking up on our old barrier in Australia.
You know what that means, Ron? That means, speaking of Zach's Groupon escapade, that means you need to get your certification with me.
Yeah,
You need to get certed.
now, there's a certification. Does it last like forever? Do you have to renew it?
You have to renew it.
You might have to renew it, but the renewal process is probably just like a hop in the water real quick, do a thing, and then you're fine.
Got you. Go into the wave pool with a
It's
goggle.
not like you need
Wasn't
to
it like
be certified either. Like,
You really don't have to be
Yeah.
certified.
But yeah, no,
I guess it just depends where you go. I mean, if you buy your own gear and like decide you're gonna jump in the water, I don't know if anyone's gonna.
No, nobody's gonna
Stop
stop
you
you.
or whatever.
It's just if you want to go to like a scuba diving place.
But I know my cousins live in Australia. I believe, I would assume they've seen it by now, but I've just seen a lot of pictures, like at least like around Great Barrier Reef and just Australia in general.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the pictures they post look beautiful.
Oh yeah, for
But I don't
sure.
know. I think that like Great Barrier Reef was like the second thing as like a child I got like super fascinated with that I wanted to just explore. I think honestly, Finding Nemo really did that in for me too, just because I started to like love aquatic life just after watching the movie and stuff. You know, Sydney.
Well, I thought that was standard. I'm sorry, I thought that was standard. You know, like the great, like after seeing Finding Nemo, I thought a reef, that's just what all reefs look like. But no, it's not.
Yeah, I don't know. I just really want to experience it at some point before maybe like, you know, Like we'll see what happens within our lifetime.
I mean, the reef
but-
down in the one that we went to whenever we were down in Florida is considered the second best in the world. It might be the first best at this point.
Well, we'll see what happens to ye old Aussie, but for right now, Great Barrier Reef is still my number 3 spot. Just a scuba dive and and just explore Australia, I suppose. But that's what I'm there for. At the end of the day,
Get some of them dingoes.
y'all might.
Yo, Ron, you gonna bring a dingo home?
Going to the down under.
Dude, I'll tell you what,
We'll throw a
dingoes
whole
are
kangaroo
vicious.
in my backpack. It'll be a giant backpack, of course.
Have you guys ever seen the video of how to catch a kangaroo?
Kangaroo squaring up.
Have you ever seen the video of how to catch a kangaroo?
No.
No.
Wait, how have you never seen that video?
Oh, it's such a good video. It's just this guy who with this thick Australian accent, beard like down to his chest. He's like, "I'm gonna teach you how to catch a kangaroo." Oh, look, there's one right now. It's a little Joey just hanging out. He goes, "First you get your sack, then you put it over the kangaroo's head, and it just falls in. Now you got a kangaroo." Watch it. It's
Amazing.
It's awesome. It's a great video. Just type in on YouTube how to catch a kangaroo. If you're out there listening to this and you haven't seen it, please watch it. You can do yourself a favor.
I'll watch it right after this. You might have to remind me, but
Kangaroos are deer that will box you out. Like, I'm not mistaken.
Dude, do you know what I actually just saw about kangaroos? I saw a thing saying, like, if you see a kangaroo in the water, like flapping around, don't jump in because it will drown you. It's trying to lure you into the water so it can drown the shit out of you.
that is terrible.
Which is terrifying to think about.
Who
That's
in
kinda
the right
nuts.
mind sees a kangaroo in the water and says, "Oi, that seems like a fun thing to play with." They just hop in. That
Yeah,
thing will
dude.
beat the shit out of you if it's out of water. I don't want to see what it'll do in water. But yeah, the Great
by
Barrier Reef
kangaroo.
is my number 3. I'll square up with a kangaroo while I'm in Australia too, which would be a good time. But yeah, Colin, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is I always after what was it like? I think it was after seeing Spectre in the James Bond series. I wanted to go to the Highlands of Scotland.
I respect it.
Yeah. No, Scotland sounds awesome. I want to go golfing in Scotland. That's
Well, I just want to go to the Highlands of Scotland and see like the crazy like I don't want to call them I guess they would be mountains. Just like the mountains
moors?
and
Is that
valleys,
what
like
they're
the
called?
insane No, they're just the Highlands of Scotland.
Isn't that what? Aren't
Might be
those
that might be
moors?
like a specific place, but
Oh.
they're just considered the Highlands.
Zach, I'll go golfing in Scotland with you.
And I would love to go see them because they're really cool. They're just neat looking.
Dude, Ron, I'll tell you what. We can bring Greg if he listens to this and brings it up.
if you went past the 10-minute mark.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
our
no,
break talk.
Greggy,
have
I'm
faith,
talking to you right
Greggy.
now. If you're listening to this, me, you, and Ron, and
No one
Aaron,
else.
or Matt, or Colin,
Yeah.
or anyone who wants to come, maybe a lucky listener, we will all go to Scotland and we will go golfing
Oh,
on a trip. We will pre-clear it with Rachel without you even knowing. Don't worry about that.
Well, now he knows.
But yeah, but now no, he doesn't know yet.
Why would Rachel not go?
Well, because I don't know.
Because it's golf with your friends, Ron. We're not friends with Rachel.
Golf with your friends. Maybe.
But yeah, Greggy, bring this up and we'll go for sure. Now watch us never go to Scotland.
Yeah. I still have to
Greg
go
will never
golfing
bring it
more in
up.
the States as it
We have
is.
to go to all the breweries
That's
out there
fine.
too, Zach.
Are there breweries in Scotland? I'm all in if there are.
There's just
For
beer.
sure.
I'm sure, definitely.
Got that Scotch.
Yeah, isn't that where all like the Scotch and whiskey's made? Maybe not
Well,
whiskey.
that wouldn't
Whiskey's
be
more
a
like,
brewery
in
necessarily.
Ireland
It'd be
kinda
more a
thing.
distillery.
Oh yeah, whatever.
A distillery is where all thrive.
If you want to go visit Guinness, we can visit Guinness.
I love Guinness, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
like
out in
Scotland and
Ireland.
Ireland are gonna be, you could
They're
do
very
that
close,
in a
aren't
few
they?
days.
Mm-hmm.
Close
Colin.
enough.
Anything
My
else to say
family
about
lives in
We can go see Kine. Shout out to you if you're listening. I think you listen. I don't know.
What?
I don't listen.
Kine's my buddy in Ireland.
Oh,
That's kind of nice.
I have family out in Ireland, which is pretty cool. I've never met them. I don't even know if they know I exist, but hey,
I have extended family out there too.
yeah.
I have no idea. But yeah,
I
Well, your last name's McNerney, so you probably do. That's
I mean, I haven't
one
heard of
person.
any extended family out in Ireland.
I don't know.
I'm not
Let's
as
find out.
involved with the mix side, my guy.
The mix side. Oh my god.
the
Yeah.
MC side.
Colin, anything else to say about Scotland?
Nope. I just think it would be fun.
Sick. Zachy boy, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Japan.
Ooh,
Specifically Tokyo, but as of recent events have occurred, I would not mind also going to Tsushima.
be a little ghosty.
Yeah, I mean,
See some
yeah,
zombies.
yeah.
Zombies.
Huh?
No, never mind.
No, I said Tsushima, not Setsushima.
I know, but but it's the way that you said it. It sounded like Soshima, and I was like, oh, it kind of sounds like zombies.
I got you.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, Tokyo, for sure. I think that's just like a really cool place to go to, and for what we talked about before, I think the culture in Japan is pretty cool. I had some friends in college that went to Japan, and they had nothing but good things to say about it. As far as just like associating with everyone and doing everything, and just existing in that space. I would like to go to Tsushima just because Ghost of Tsushima just came out and it looks beautiful in the game. I would love to believe that it looks every bit as beautiful. I can't imagine it. I mean, I think anywhere I go would probably be beautiful and look different. See a cherry blossom tree for sure, but yeah, I don't know. I think I'll Tokyo for the tech, Tsushima mainly for the nature and everything like that. But
Yeah,
Japan in general,
architecture in
for reasons
Japan
to
is just amazing.
No, I agree. And I like, and I don't want to assume, but I would imagine Japan has different sections, kind of similar. Because when I was in China, it astounded me how quickly things could change, in the sense that like I was in like this big metropolis of a city, then they have like this walled off area, and they have a bamboo forest in the middle of the city, and when you're in it you feel like you are so far away from any type of civilization. Same thing with like the monasteries and stuff they have in the city. I would imagine Japan is similar to that, based off of just what I've seen. I have no idea if it actually is, but yeah, I just want to see.
I think it just depends on where you go.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because like I bet you if you go to like Kyoto or Tokyo, you're probably gonna see a lot less of it.
Yeah, and like that's the thing, is like I've always loved like how Japan has like adopted technology and everything like that. So Japan's my number 3. That's what.
Because what is it like?
I want to go see all that
Ueno
stuff.
Park. Ueno Park is that place where it's like a bunch of water lilies, or I don't know what to call them. I don't remember what they are. I just seen a picture of it where like it's a bunch of like it looks like they are plants that live in water. That's what it looks like to me, and it's like this beautiful park of like probably in the middle of like a small city. And then it has a bunch of like the traditional architecture there as well.
Right. Yeah, that's my number 3.
Matthew, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Africa.
Africa, where at?
Where in Africa?
What part?
I don't know where
That's a
specifically.
big
I would
chunk of
like,
land, buddy.
It wouldn't be like a specific part. Like I would want to go on like a safari trip.
Oh, so the north.
It's like northern Africa.
So the north, I guess, like on one of the reserves that they let all the rich people on.
Are you
Ethiopia,
trying to go to South Africa to see where Big Buddy Elon descended from, where your best stock came from?
Or the band Seether?
I don't know nothing about Seether, but I do know Elon.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you've heard their one song.
Maybe.
We could talk about it later.
I guess we can talk about it later. But yeah, I feel like a safari trip would be like really awesome to experience. Just seeing like all those animals just roam around and shit, and being able to like.
What kind of animals? What's your favorite animal? What is the one animal, if you got to go on a safari trip, what would you want to see?
Giraffe.
Elephants?
Elephants are the best.
Elephants?
They're so awesome.
You gonna try to run away from an elephant?
No, me and elephant, we'd be friends. Elephants.
Be friends.
There was like a study where they were like they analyzed like the elephant's brain when they see humans, and they like emit like waves similar to like when we see dogs. So like they think that we're like adorable as shit. When I swear to God, it's real.
That's pretty funny.
That's awesome.
Would you want to ride one? Would you want to ride an Ellie?
If given the opportunity, yes.
Who is gonna say no to that?
Who would say no?
Oh, you've never ridden an elephant?
I remember I went to the zoo like years ago for like this like private thing. I can't even remember what it was for, but they had like the baby elephant was like out and like just like walking around, and like everyone was circled around it, and like you could like touch it, like give him like a good rubbing, and like
Matt's about to tell us
it
he tried
feels
to
like
jump
just
his
so
child ass
weird
on an
and
elephant.
awesome. That's just something I would want to do. Like riding an elephant's just badass.
No, I agree. Elephants are cool.
Especially in a battle.
Oh yeah,
Battle.
The whole war paint
Yeah.
on you.
and there's like super cheap in D&D, and you can like get a lot out of an elephant.
Well, elephants.
Yeah, you can. Get
I mean,
bored.
for a long time, elephants were a huge tool of war.
Oh yeah,
That, like,
oh yeah.
yeah, for sure.
What's stopping an elephant
Even
besides
Rome
another
used them.
elephant?
a lot of
not much.
spears.
A lot of spears.
A
Yeah.
lot of spears.
I mean, that elephant's taken like 10 people down with
'Cause
him.
it's not
So-
arrows. Arrows are
No.
probably gonna do almost
It's a
nothing
decent
to an
trade.
elephant.
I
Oh,
mean,
no.
honestly, we might have handled it pretty well considering we used to hunt woolly mammoths like it was nothing.
I mean, we had to go out with like 10 people and a million spears
mean,
to
no,
do it.
you're
but
right.
And you
yeah,
probably have to get the sick ones, like
yeah,
was like the
you're
raid
getting
one.
you're getting the one that's like going off on its own and like
Yeah.
dying.
or like the kid one.
Just
wait
hit the
for an
ones with
elephant to
tainted meat.
cough.
Yeah, the woolly mammoths
Wait
going
for the
around going.
elephant to catch Rona.
Woolly mammoths are just sitting in a group. They just hear one go. They get him. A bunch of people run out of the bush.
You know,
The caveman going.
we were watching a documentary on, because I was just thinking about woolly mammoths being extinct, and we were watching a documentary on pandas the other day, and I was like, pandas are going extinct just because of their own stupid little actions, man. Like, this mama panda just did not care that this baby panda was just rolling down this massive hill, and she's just sitting on top like, oh yeah, that's fine, we'll just let him roll down the hill. And it's like, what if a predator goes and eats your baby? Like, you can't do anything about it.
I thought pandas were on the
They kind of are. I was fortunate enough to see real pandas out in China. In China.
I mean, yeah,
Hey,
go to the zoo, my guy.
I don't actually. I don't know
pandas,
if
they're
they're at the zoo.
endangered.
Yeah, they're endangered. I don't know if they are. There are many out in the zoo. I'll tell you what. I did go see pandas in China, and the most fascinating thing I saw at this zoo designed for pandas was this peacock that was just wild, just chilling out in like this roped off section. More so, like it's not even a roped off section that like we weren't allowed to be in. It's more so like it's not the path. Don't go on it. I was staring at this peacock, and it was beautiful. Granted, I was like I hadn't eaten for like 2 days. That's a whole nother story. But the pandas are cool. All they do is just eat. They just hang out and eat, and that's it.
Yeah.
But like if you piss one off, oh my god,
Oh, you're
they will
dead.
mess you up. They will mess you up. Yeah.
I mean, they cut through those bamboo shoots like they're paper.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Scared of them.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like you're taking on someone's kneecaps with what they're eating for
I was
breakfast.
just in this documentary, I just saw like the baby pandas falling out of trees, the baby pandas like rolling down hills to where predators can get it. Like, I was just like, they're going almost extinct on their own. Like, we don't need to help them at all. They'll be extinct on their own even if we do nothing.
Did you ever read that? Like the sloth will like sometimes mistake its arm for a branch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and then
read
it'll
that.
fall,
arm
and
and
that's
then
how
it
it
fall and
dies.
die.
That's so stupid.
I love sloths, dude. They're so fun.
That sounds like a friend we had.
No, just watching Zootopia. The sloths are the best characters in Zootopia.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, no.
the only characters worth actually watching in that movie.
That movie was great. I love that movie.
I thought it was good, but I think
Never seen it.
I think it's overhyped for sure.
yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't understand like the hype. I thought it was good, but I think it was rushed.
You know what it felt like? It felt like the Dr. Ned's DLC in Borderlands 1, because every time like something happened, I was like, oh my god, this is like Dr. Ned's DLC.
I
but
I
don't
never played that
remember.
deal.
I know you guys don't remember because you guys didn't play it that well.
But Matt, anything else to say?
No, sir.
Boys
Yes, sir.
and girls, if you're watching. My number 2 pick is Italy. It's unsurprising.
I knew it. I'm
So
surprised it was. I'm surprised it was 2. I thought it'd be near number 1.
Trust me, Zach. I'm gonna say my number 1. You're gonna be like, oh wait, never mind. My
What part of Italy, buddy? Actually, I know you're number 1. Never mind.
What is it? Tell me. Tell the audience.
It's gonna be somewhere up. in
But
the
we're
north
not
where
at.
you see
That's
the
not
lights.
the part that we're on. Like,
No, tell me, Zach. What is it? You mumbled it.
I just said it. I'm sure that the people heard it, but I'll tell you right before you go next, and we can see if I'm right. So that way, there's not this anticipation, or if I'm wrong.
Oh, for what my number 1 pick
Or
is,
from-
or from what part of Italy?
On your number. Oh, for your number 1 pick.
Oh, I thought you said what part of Italy, and I said what part.
Oh, my guess would be either Rome or Florence for you.
So the 3 places, the one place I want to visit the most is Naples
Oh, really?
and Venice. Like Naples and Venice go back and forth a lot. But Rome is up on there too. I want to see Catrone. I believe that's the name.
Carnival.
I believe Catrone is the city I'm thinking of, but that's where my great grandparents are from. My grandfather's parents. So, I would like just to visit, see where they grew up.
Is that on the Odedo side?
Yeah, on the Odata side.
It would have to be.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be on the McNerney side.
I'm just asking. I didn't know if like there was other lineage.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, I mean, I forget what part of Poland my grandmother's family was from, but yeah, Italy is where I really want to go. Yeah, I don't know, like my
Not Rome. Rome's not up there.
No, Rome's on there.
you said Rome.
Yeah, that's like my
I did.
third and stuff. But like, so one of my college friends, Santino, him and his family went on an entire tour of Italy. So they went through every single spot of Italy. Just extremely jealous of. I think it was like, I forget how long. It was 10 days minimum was their vacation. And I was so jealous of it. And I think that's what I would really just love to do. If I were to go to Italy, was going an entire tour of the nation. I think it'd be awesome.
Tour of the nation.
Tour of the nation.
I think the place I want to go in Italy is definitely Tuscany. Like I'll go there over anything else because I like the idea of like small town, middle of nowhere kind of idea.
Mm-hmm.
Like its own
No
little
Fashion Week Milan's. Anyone? No.
like its own little boy.
But also Zach, Carnival
Yo.
in Italy too.
Carnival, dude. I want to see Venice. Venice during Carnival sounds like Venice just seems like a cool city in general.
Yeah,
before it
I would-
sinks into the earth.
Yeah,
But
I know. I just want to go on some. I just want to just have a nice, boat ride through Venice. I think it'd be beautiful. Go
Yeah.
at night. Oh man. But yeah.
Yeah.
Cuddle up to
Go
your
with
little
Tiffany.
stuffed animal.
What was that, Colin?
Cuddle up with the stuffed animal.
Absolutely.
no, he's gonna be cuddling up with Tiffany.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Italy's my number 2. Preferably an entire tour of everywhere, but Naples, Catrone, Venice, Rome are like the main destination spots for me. I think Venice is just beautiful.
Florencia.
Beautiful, Naples.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I agree.
Colin, what's your number 2?
All right. So number 2. How do I preface this? I made my like number 2 and number 1 things that are like very exceptional for the world.
Mhm.
And that is my number 2 is Gateway to Hell. The you can go on top of like this giant I don't know how big it is if I'm being real with you. I've just seen pictures of it. And it's a volcano that you can go on top of and like look down into it. And like see all the lava and stuff, and it's really cool.
You mean
Where's
Hell?
that?
I know there's an island called Hell. Is it on the same
No, I don't
island?
think it is.
I've been there. It's overrated. You only
What,
go
Gateway
to
to Hell?
No, like the actual island called Hell. You only go there to
Oh.
send yourself a postcard. It's like kind of a dump.
Oh, that's what it is. It's a crater. I looked it up because I've only seen pictures of it, so I never really understood what it was. But it's a massive crater.
Where's it at? Where's that?
I want to go to this big hole
don't
in the
know.
ground wall.
I don't know where. Like honestly, I've only seen pictures of it. Turkmenistan
Where is that?
Turkmenistan.
or well,
Sounds-
Turkmenistan, most likely.
Turkmenistan? Is it like in the Middle
That
East?
sounds like between like Europe and Russia, like around that area.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
the-
it's a massive crater of gas that has been burning for decades. That's what it is.
If I'm gonna go see a big ball of gas, I'd rather just go to Saturn.
I got a big
Random
ball of
now.
gas back home.
No.
Okay.
But it just looks
Alright,
cool because it looked like it was lava in the pictures and stuff. But it looks pretty neat because it's like this giant burning hole in the ground. And it's like in the middle of a desert and stuff. I don't know. It looks neat. Not like, I'm not going there for days. I'm gonna like pass it on the highway, take like the turn off, go see it for a few minutes, and then be like, wow, that was pretty cool, and then continue on to wherever I was in Turkmenistan.
Apparently, it's just a vibe in Turkmenistan.
Yeah.
Look at us out here in
I
Turkmenistan.
bet you it's like near Israel.
Who would have thought that's where we end up instead of Disney World in 2 years? Turkmenistan.
First
That's
thing
gonna be our.
We were, there's a hole in the ground. We really wanted to see it. It's a big.
We're gonna do our version of the Poland
Oh,
story.
wow.
It's gonna start in Turkmenistan.
Guess where it is. Take a guess.
Turkey.
Where-
Turkmenistan?
Yeah.
I don't know. The Middle East somewhere.
I have literally no idea.
South America.
I'm not
Middle
even-
East or the South
It has to
America.
be, like, Middle East.
Those are my
I'm not
two.
aware.
Those are my two guesses.
I don't think I can.
Try and
entertain
take a
this.
guess like it's bordering, like at least one bordering country.
America.
No.
Then I don't know.
Turkey? I don't know.
I guess like Syria.
Constantinople?
Yeah.
It is right
Greece.
above Iran.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
It's a
there you
whole
go.
country.
Yeah.
They
It's
have all this-
massive.
Well, they have
It's
all
like
the
this
gas.
massive country.
They need to get their gas from the hole, Colin.
I guess, yeah.
That's where they get it from.
It's
It's
like
not oil.
we're going to Turkmenistan.
It's all the oil that's burning. That's why it's been burning so long.
We're
Probably.
going straight to Chernobyl after that.
Hey, Chernobyl's apparently livable for wildlife right now.
Hey,
It's been
it
livable
gotta be
for a long
sometime,
time.
right?
Wow. From what I understand.
Well, it's like the wildlife isn't mutating from it.
yeah, there's like
So
normal
nature
like,
is
That's what we
healing.
wanna see.
chilling. That's like creepy as fuck. I would like want to go, but it'd be creepy.
I learned that the reason Chernobyl had a meltdown was because they got really cheap on the parts.
So is that why you always buy NVIDIA graphics cards? Because they're very
Yes.
expensive high-end graphics cards that you should always get for your good gaming PC?
Buy NVIDIA. Buy
You know, if they had
NVIDIA.
Elon, the current richest man in the world, maybe he could have fixed that, made sure they were shipshape. You know.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't care. We actually gave them help. We told them that we would help them build it, and then they said, "No, we will. We'll do it our way." And then they bought all the cheap parts because I forget what it was. It was like some engineering course or whatever, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't want to spend the money on this specific part." And we were like, "Well, that part is what's going to keep it from melting down." And they were like, "Nah, we don't need to spend that much money on it," and it melted down.
Hey, Zach.
Yo.
Yo. What's your number 2, bud?
My number 2 is Mount Saint Michael in France.
Interesting
Oui,
choice.
oui.
I don't know what
Oui, oui.
happens on this mountain.
Are you gonna eat a little
I'm pretty
baguette
sure.
on the mountain?
So okay,
Eagles.
the only thing I know about this mountain is what I've seen in pictures and like what I've read on like the brief Wikipedia thing that it has. But I guess like the whole mountain is dedicated to like, I don't know, Christianity or Catholicism. I don't know, whatever you subscribe to. But it's this mountain in like the middle of like this like lake, and it looks so beautiful. If you're at home, and I implore all three of you currently,
No,
look up a picture of Mount Saint Michael, France
not doing
at
it.
night, and it looks amazing. I just want to go there.
It
just
is now
looks
my life mission to make
awesome.
you not go there because you asked me to Google it.
well, okay, but yeah, no, it I don't know. I don't know what it is. I saw a picture of it one time, and I was just like, I want to go there. I just need to. Saint Michael is like my favorite archangel, I guess. If you can have a favorite archangel, but
I mean, he's an angel. He's just an archangel.
I thought there was
yeah.
only Archangel.
No, there's like 4.
It also
Okay.
depends on if you subscribe to angels.
I guess, yeah. This is a lot of controversial stuff. I don't even, whatever. But yeah, no, it looks beautiful. The mountain looks awesome. Even if there's nothing on the mountain, even if it's just like a church at the top of the mountain, I just want to go there.
Yeah, I just googled a picture. It looks beautiful.
Doesn't it? Oh
yeah,
my god,
it looks really cool.
Ugh, I don't even know how far away from Paris it is. I think it's either not far or it's very far. It's one of the two. But yeah, it's just like it's in the middle of like this lake, I'm pretty sure, or maybe even the ocean. I have no clue. But it's like this winding road leading up to it, and it just, I don't know. It looks beautiful. I want to see it. I saw the picture and I was like, I need to see this in real life.
Yeah, it's a solid choice. I mean, I saw the picture. I want to go to it now. Matt.
Yo.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Tokyo.
Ooh, Tokyo seems to be a popular point.
Our bachelor party in Tokyo?
Oh god. So you're Schmidt.
We
Okay.
could live the neutral fantasy.
You've confirmed you are Schmidt.
I'm so ready. I love Tokyo. Let's do it.
Matt, why Tokyo? I assume for reasons already discussed, but
Yeah, like I feel like just experiencing like the nightlife of the city would just be like insane, and like just like nothing that we would ever be able to experience here in the States. That, and I really want to dive in the food there as well. That's a really big factor. Like when I go new places, I want to be sure to try all sorts of new foods.
Dude, I love sushi.
And I love seafood so much, and that's all they eat over there is just like sushi and rice and fish. And that's like that's everything I love. So I definitely want to try some authentic like ramen and sushi.
I would like to go to one of the sushi restaurants where like they have a sushi chef stand in front of you and serve you like
hibachi.
No. Why the fuck would I want to go to hibachi?
That's not hibachi. That's not what he's talking about.
You like a sushi chef stands in front of you and he prepares a meal that he thinks you will like.
Yeah, you could do that at Yokoso if you want to.
No, it's not the same. It's like a very different
or Honolulu. Is that where? Not Honolulu. What's it called? Hula Hands. Well, where did we eat? Steve Aoki's dad owns it.
No.
I mean, Zach, that's like saying you can get.
Trust me, it is not that. Like you're thinking very differently.
Whether it is or not, it's also like in the States, so like it's not.
Yeah,
no, that's fair. Yeah.
It's not as
you get cherry blossom tree in America, but you want to see it in Japan.
But like, the thing is it's a thing where like you sit down and it costs quite a bit of money because like they're gonna give you like a really good meal, and he tells you like how to eat it. He prepares it like perfectly, and he's like, okay, this one you're going to eat without soy sauce, and then the next one he goes, this one you're going to eat with soy sauce, or like this one you're going to have wasabi on it, and this one you won't have wasabi on it, and so forth. And it's pretty cool. That's all.
Wasabi.
But Matt, what about their food? What is there any like dish that you've seen that you just want to try, or is it just just free ball?
I want to try everything as much as possible.
I'm hyped for you. This seems like this is something that could happen, boys. Let's get it.
Dude, bachelor party in Tokyo.
So far, we got 3 out of 4 who are in for Tokyo.
Colin just throwing on an honorable mention, like and boom, we're there.
Well, he didn't do his number 1 yet. His number
that is true.
Tokyo.
Yeah, of course, obviously.
Has to be Tokyo now. I better change my number 1.
Anything else you want to say about Tokyo, Matt?
No, I think I'm good.
I'm good as well.
Matt, how are you on Persona? How are you doing, buddy?
I haven't finished the first palace yet. I'm still.
Dude, we can't go to Tokyo until we finish Persona. Persona 5.
Well, then that's gonna be never.
It's gonna take so long. Are you even close to being done with that?
No. Me and Greg caught up to each other, and we were playing it day by day with each other for a little bit there.
That's adorable.
And then just other things came up.
They are adorable.
So, I mean, honestly, Matt, if you catch up to us, we can play day by day with you. And Ron, I believe, said he's starting it tomorrow, and Aaron might be starting it soon as well.
That boy, Aaron.
Tomorrow is.
Now we need Colin.
Listen, Aaron has a lot of games he has to play, my guy. I don't think.
Well, Colin can't get Persona because he's going to be too busy playing Ark when we all get Ark.
Yeah,
Survival
exactly.
Evolved.
Anyway, Ron, you have a number 1, right?
I have a number 1.
Or number 2.
A number 1.
No, this isn't.
I'm first. Yeah.
Yeah, right. You
so,
were first. Right. Wait. Can I
boys.
do my guess? My guess for you before you
let
say?
me give the intro first. But boys, we are now at the spot of the show where we give everyone our number one ranking. Ron, you're starting us off today. Oh, thanks, Ron. But first we have a special appearance from Zach, who is gonna say what he thinks Ron's number one pick is, even though he originally thought it'd be Italy. So we'll see.
I did originally think it was Italy. However, given the fact that we haven't heard anything about it, I honestly can't narrow it down to a place, but it is going to consist of some area that he can see the Northern Lights from.
That is absolutely
wrong. I'm gonna send it back to you.
100% false. If I weren't lying, because it's the truth. So, Northern Lights especially. So I have an affordable section that I would want to go to. I do not want to see the Northern Lights in America. I just do not want to do it. Like, I could go to Michigan, fine, or Alaska. Alaska's a bit
Is it Michigan? Can you see them in Michigan?
You can see them in Michigan.
Yeah.
What?
Most northern part of Michigan. Yeah, you can. Recently, I think a couple weeks ago, you could see it.
They're
from
not as
Erie.
great as Alaska.
No, but a couple weeks ago, you could have seen them in Erie.
Yep.
Erie, PA.
Gross.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, yeah. Haley was up there. I let her know. I don't know if she went out and saw. Like, you can only see it it was like 3 a.m, but she's like kind of close to the city and stuff, so it'd be a little difficult. But,
Sure.
yeah. So my affordable area on where I would see it would be in Yellowknife, Canada. Of course, that's the affordable spot. But honestly, everything I've seen on Yellowknife, just in general, dude, that place looks freaking awesome. I really want to go. That's like one of those spots in Canada I'd actually want to go to, is Yellowknife. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess Niagara Falls, but I don't really give a crap about seeing the Niagara Falls. I'm sure if I see it, I'd be like,
so
oh,
many
this is
times.
awesome. But like, you know,
It's cool. It's a waterfall.
Yeah, we can just drive there. Like, it's not a big deal.
I think the coolest thing about Niagara Falls is the boat that is stuck in the middle of the falls that is just caught on like one of the rocks that will never move.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the coolest part about Niagara Falls. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
But that's my affordable spot. But my bougie spot is I don't have a spot narrowed down because there's so many awesome spots, but anywhere in Greenland. I'd love to see the Northern Lights.
Greenland. Oh damn.
Yeah, that's the bougie spot, man. All
The
ice.
true Iceland.
Yeah, the true Iceland. Dude, Vikings are
Sleeping
funny.
on a block of ice.
Vikings are funny, man. I love how it stayed Greenland. But
Well, no, you know why they did that, right?
yeah, just to trick them.
Yeah.
It's Greenland, so they would just wear like not the
I'm
proper
sorry,
stuff.
but if you didn't learn that where we went to school, then something's wrong.
Yeah,
Right,
like,
but it's
hey,
still-
that
it's still
place
awesome.
over there is really awesome. You have to pass us to get to it, but it's cool.
Yeah. it's
By the way,
very-
while you pass us, we're gonna pillage the hell out of your ship.
But yeah, I want to go to Greenland to see it. No specific spot, just because every like vacation spot looks absolutely beautiful. There's a couple where you can stay and like you could stay in igloos and just camp out. There was one I saw where you can have like dog sleds that would take you from destination to destination at certain spots, like touristy spots and stuff, like activities and stuff you could do. That one was awesome. Dummy expensive. That's why it's under the bougie category. But yeah, I mean, I like Alaska. I would consider seeing it in Alaska just because it's, you know, it's not like, I guess, mainland technically, but it looks awesome from any picture I've seen in Alaska, so I would definitely see it there. But yeah, Canada is the affordable spot. Greenland is the bougie spot. So that's my number one pick. Colin.
Yeah, I'm here. You usually say, Colin, what's yours? So I waited for you to say what's
there was
yours.
just a pause. Like, Matt didn't have like any movement at all. So I was like, Matt was so still. I thought he was frozen. And you don't have a camera, and Zach's not there. He walked away, so I don't know what was happening.
You just were like,
Yeah,
Colin. And I was like, okay, finish your sentence.
Colin, what's your number one pick?
Mine. The reason I didn't talk on the last one is because mine is also seeing the Northern Lights,
Really?
but specifically,
Mm-hmm.
In Tokyo, you mean?
going to like the top of Norway, because from what I have heard is that is the best spot to see it.
Yes. Yeah, that's been a lot of stuff that I've seen too. Norway's looked beautiful.
So going to Norway, plus there's a few other cool stuff in Norway, like I think there's a place in Norway, maybe it's not Norway, maybe it is. Norway has like this place where like gravity is like at its lowest, which is pretty cool. I mean, you know, it's by a marginal difference, but that's still pretty cool to like go and see that little area where gravity's at its lowest and things technically fall slower.
Yeah.
And like other weird like phenomena in Norway like that like would probably be cool to go see.
No, that's definitely a solid spot, would be Norway. The reason I kind of was thinking more Greenland, like for bougie stuff, is because just that part of the world is so different from everywhere else too. I feel like it would be like a big culture shock, I don't think, but just like way of life is just completely different from Pittsburgh of all places. So I think it'd be really cool to kind of just experience from Hicksburg, from Jensburg.
Ginsburg.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I definitely agree with Norway. That's a solid place.
Yeah, no, Norway like just looks dope, and like honestly, like the Aurora Borealis, I don't think is something that like you're just gonna go, oh, okay, I see this once. Like I'm sure people who like live places that you can see it, they just sit outside and like drink coffee and like watch it. Like I bet you that's like their midnight TV kind of thing.
Right? Yeah, like that's what I was thinking too. With Greenland would just be like just chilling out, like however long you're there for, but like you see it every night. I mean, obviously depending on what part of the year you go, but even like in the summer, you still have a good chance of seeing it. It's just not as common as like November to April, but still looks awesome.
Yeah, that's where I want to go for my number one, because I think that's like the only one that I genuinely think about is the Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights.
Zach,
I just need to say that.
No, yeah, 100% agree, dude. Love me some Northern Lights. But Zach, I know your number one pick, but if you would care to share with the audience and our friends what your number one pick would be.
You know, Ron, I guessed yours. I think it's only fair that you guess mine.
All right, cool. So you want to go to Greece more than anything. Probably more specifically Athens. But yeah. Am I correct?
Well, see, here's the thing, buddy.
Ooh.
I wish I could say yes.
Really?
And I'm really happy that I can say yes, because you're absolutely right. I want to go to Greece so bad. It is almost painful. Athens for sure is one of the places I would love to go. Also, I would not be mad about going to Mykonos.
Mykonos. They have a concert.
Yeah, that way.
Yeah, Greece. I love Greece. I think the landscape is beautiful. I think the people are beautiful. I think the language is beautiful. There's so much history wrapped into Greece, along with the fact that I just love mythology, especially Greek mythology. I want to go to Athens to see where the Grecian Empire was at its like height of like everything it was, but also I want to see the Parthenon, or what's left of the Parthenon. I want to go to Mykonos for the beautiful beaches and hot springs and just the sea, like the bright blue sea. Yeah. There's like, I want to be there so bad. From everything I've heard, the weather is really nice. Mainly just the culture. Like one thing I do, like one specific thing I want to do is I want to go there and I want to buy a statue of Atlas. I don't know why, but I want to so bad. But no, Greece is my number one. I will not be happy in this life until I visit Greece for sure.
Zach, if I'm in Italy and you're in Greece, we'll be on the other side of the pond. You know?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
We can skip some rocks over. God, we're so culturally ignorant. But we could skip
we'll be
some
on the
rocks
better
over.
side. We'll be on the better side of the pond. Aside from like side Greg's from, so we'll have a better.
That boy Greggy. Also, authentic Greek cuisine is like also amazing.
Yeah,
I would definitely be all in for that.
Oh, I love Mediterranean food. I love Mediterranean
It's delicious.
food. It's so good. Like pita, hummus.
Oh yeah.
Other stuff. There's a place, if anyone's out there listening, there's a place called Aladdin's Eatery. Do yourself a favor and go eat food there because it is delicious.
Oh, you've talked about this place before.
They recently opened one up here at home. At first, like I only saw them out by school. I'm out in Ohio by school.
Where's it at in the Berg?
I have no idea where it's at, but I've just seen it on DoorDash for Aladdin's Eatery. If you like Mediterranean food, or if you don't know if you like Mediterranean food, Aladdin's Eatery is a fantastic place to figure that out, because they have very affordable food but also very expensive food if you want to, like, you know, get like a whole meal, or
If you like it the first time, go bougie the next.
Pizza. Yeah, dude, it is delicious. No sponsor, sadly.
No.
But yeah, I highly recommend that. But yeah, Greece, the history, the history of Greece. I want to be there. I'm gonna wear a toga. That's all I'm gonna wear.
Matt, you're the final one to give us your number one pick. What is it?
Let's hear it, buddy.
We mentioned this earlier. It was on Ron's list, but I really want to go to Australia, and specifically, I want to snorkel / dive in the Great Barrier Reef.
I feel like I could have guessed that too.
An amazing, life-changing experience just to go out and see that firsthand. I know Colin mentioned it earlier, but when we went to Sea Base back in 2016,
I believe,
2015, we snorkeled at this one spot right off the Florida Keys, and it's regarded as like an amazing spot to go. But like, what was the funny part was the day we were like scheduled to go was the first day of lobster season down there.
They opened it early.
Yeah, they opened it early, so there was us, like our big party boat with like 50 of us, and then maybe one other, but we basically had the whole area to snorkel to ourselves. It was insane. It was so awesome.
I think there was one other boat like 200 yards away.
Yeah,
because everybody else was out hunting lobster.
To go on like a snorkel diving trip, I just feel like it would be so cool just to go out and do that again.
So here's what's going to happen. Matt, your bachelor party, we're going to Great Barrier Reef. For my bachelor party, we're going to Tokyo. Wrong.
I thought you meant...
For your bachelor party.
But you had Greece as your number one, my guy.
That is my number one, but I'm trying to base this off of like everything we all had on like everyone's list. But
Colin's list had Northern Lights.
No, right. That's why I was going to say that Colin's bachelor party would be the Northern Lights.
Where's Ron's?
You're not going to have one.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
Zach's gonna be in charge of this, dude. If it's some like, we're gonna go to like Shady Side.
We're gonna go Wisher School, Ron. We're going to Wisher School.
We're gonna go on Mount Washington, and we're just gonna hang out, have a couple brewskis in the same Romeo and Juliet cigar you've been smoking since you were 16.
Icy lights in it.
Yeah, some icy lights. Oh yeah, you gotta have the whole Pittsburgh experience. I love the Berg. I'd be fine with it.
I think you know me well enough that if I don't spoil you so deeply, my goal for your bachelor party, Ron, is that I will spoil you so on such a grand level that your wife could never measure up, and eventually you'll leave your wife for me. This
man's just gonna get so many icy lights that I'm just gonna forget all this stuff that he said, and it's just gonna be the most dog.
I'm gonna get you so drunk or intoxicated on some level. You're gonna wake up in Vegas. I'm gonna tell you this big story about everything that happened. You're gonna be like, I guess it happened, and none of it ever happened. Yeah. You're not even in Las Vegas. You're just in like downtown Pittsburgh with like the.
I'm in Three Rivers. I'm just in the parking lot of a Three Rivers.
I'm be like, all right, Ron, take this. We're gonna get on a flight. We're gonna go home.
God.
Flip him a lewd.
But yeah, Matt, are we gonna go together at the Great Barrier Reef? Are you there for it?
We have to.
Oh yeah.
Perfect. Anything else you want to say about the Great Barrier Reef, Matt, before it dies?
He also wants to pee in the water there.
I mean,
yuck.
You gotta go.
Don't
Speaking of the reef, you guys see what's behind me?
I do.
Are those birds.
You gotta describe it to people who are listening.
I'm kidding.
Sharks for everyone at home.
He's like a moving wallpaper on his TV, and I thought they were birds.
I'm joking. You can see the fish. Oh, damn it. I can never joke with you, Matt. I swear to God.
Wait, your tone implied that you're being serious.
Oh, no.
That's what he does, though. That's his MO. That's his brand.
That's 100% on brand, I swear.
The more serious Ron sounds, the more he's joking.
Yeah, God. It's a curse. I'll tell you what. But boys, that wraps up our top 5 list, but now it's the part of the show where we go through our honorable mentions, and we have all selected 3 to choose from. And I'm going to start off our honorable mentions. I'm just going to kind of quickly go through them because I don't have too much to talk about, but they're just on the list just to be on the list. So my first honorable mention is Greece. 100%. Greece would be dope. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I know I'll just hide in Zach's luggage whenever he goes there. So I'll end up having a free flight there, which would be pretty awesome. My number 2 pick is Ireland. Shout out to my professor at college who did not let me go on to Ireland unless I'd fail the final. That was awesome, and I live by that memory every night before I go to bed. And when my mom and sister talk about their awesome trip to Ireland, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, shout out to you, Mr. Jenkins.
That was not Mr. Jenkins.
Shout out to you, Mr. Smith.
Yeah, it was Mr. Smith. Yeah, Ireland's my number 2. And my third pick is just more of a basic spot, but I think it'd be really fun to just vacation in with the boys and everything, is the Bahamas. I'd love to go to the Bahamas. Bahamas would be awesome. Drink some pina coladas.
My parents went to the Bahamas. They said they loved it.
Greg and Evan have been there, but they all went with their friends too.
That makes a lot of sense.
Greggy was there?
Yeah,
we gotta go.
You know Greggy was there.
Greg and Evan and their high school friends all went to the Bahamas. I forget what.
Dude, anywhere that's cool, Greggy has been there.
Yeah, he's been on the other side of the pond. So.
I mean, yeah, because he grew up there. That's honestly the biggest thing that we have against Greg.
You think he grew up in England?
He did now. He rewrote his history.
Don't they? Yeah, don't they always? Always some way?
Yeah, man.
Every time, I think I knew the most about Greg whenever I woke up, Ron, on your couch whenever I came to visit you, and he's like, "Oh, do you want some tea?" And he didn't ask me about coffee. He's like, "Oh, you want some tea?"
Man likes tea, man. Not prefer.
Tea is much better than coffee.
That was an entirely fabricated.
But I like tea though.
I do love tea. Actually, I'm gonna have some tea a little bit later. It's a sleepy time tea. Helps me sleep. And I've been sleeping crazy well with this tea.
Dude, get some tea and honey. That's all you need. Red leaf.
I don't even put honey in it.
Red rose tea bags. Oh man.
Oh, rose tea is delicious. I have some rose tea from China that I bought when I was there.
Red rose with honey.
It's the hibiscus.
Recommend.
No. Okay.
I mean, it'd be old at this point.
Oh yeah. But Colin,
I don't know the shelf life of tea. What?
You just lick your microphone?
I don't know. Shelf life is pretty long.
I don't know. I feel like
okay. We're gonna just move on. Colin, what are your honorable mentions?
We've actually talked about all my honorable mentions.
Is it Yellowstone?
So we talked about Italy. Italy would just be fun just to go walk around all of Italy, like go to Tuscany, take a day tour around it. Not really a day tour, I guess a few day tour. South New Zealand, that was pretty quick. We covered that. We covered Japan, but I specifically want to go to Kitsugiyama Park, which is this park with a bunch of like purplish pink flowers with a giant like mountain that's like a snow-covered mountain. It is a very beautiful sight of pictures that I have seen, and I would like to go there and just sit there and just enjoy, like have some tea and chill out.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can co-sign. So boys, we're all going to Japan. Perfect. And we'll make a pit stop.
Like it.
Zach, what are your honorable mentions?
My honorable mentions, Ronald. are the Northern Lights. Just anywhere. I don't know. I don't have a specific location I want to see them. But the Northern Lights are for sure in my honorable mentions. As well as the Great Barrier Reef. I really want to see the Great Barrier Reef. I think it'd be really cool to. I just want to go scuba diving in general, but definitely there. And Germany, specifically during Oktoberfest, I think would be just a blast of a time. If you don't know me, you know I'm a big fan of beer. But
He's never drank beer in his life. Don't listen to him.
He's a poser.
He's always like, "Oh, sparkling water, so good, guys."
He's always like, beer tastes so good. Let me tell you about the tastes.
I'll
but it's
never
not what it tastes like.
ever let you drink LaCroix without getting harassed.
I can't stand it.
But yeah, I think Germany during Oktoberfest would be a lot of fun. So that's my number 3 honorable mention.
Man, I think Oktoberfest was the only like entertaining or insightful thing I've ever taken out of our German classes in high school.
See, I would do Oktoberfest because I'm sure it's like obviously a blast. You just get pissed drunk in public all day. Like that's not fun. But like German class definitely ruined any chances of me wanting to go to Germany.
Yeah.
If you had our German teacher, you know that he's a fucking piece of shit. Fuck him.
Oh my god, I hate that man. It was like the 3rd week of school and he managed to infuriate me, and I didn't even have him as a teacher.
Picking fights with 15-year-olds.
Yeah,
he really
I
was.
remember he got me in trouble for me, Tyler, Brendan. I don't even know who else was with us, but we would always walk, and he like yelled at us. He's like, "What are you doing? You should be in a homeroom." And he sent us to the office, and Mr. Saris was there. And I walked into Mr. Saris' office. He's like, "What happened, Zach?" I was like, "Well, you know, we walk around. We walk around during lunch or during our homeroom because that's just kind of what we do. We would just walk around, we hang out, we talk." I know Mr. Saris at this point. He's like, "Maybe you just don't walk by his room anymore." It's like, sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. He's like, "No, I'm gonna hold you in here for five minutes. So that way, if anyone asks, you got in trouble." So cool.
I avoided his section like the plague.
Yeah. German was
He was back there in that weird top floor section that didn't go with everything else.
That nobody cares about.
Yeah.
Well, that was just the language section. Like, wasn't all the Spanish rooms were in that?
There was like Spanish.
The Spanish room was in the back.
The extra Spanish rooms were.
Yeah, the extra Spanish room was in the
Everyone wanted
back.
to take Spanish.
The Latin room was back there.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I took Latin. I wish I took Latin instead of Spanish.
I mean,
It wasn't only like 1 year of
so much
Latin
more
though.
useless.
No, you could take it. They didn't have. So if you took the other languages like French, Spanish, or German, assuming in your 8th grade year,
Yeah.
you took the first version.
You could.
If you stuck with it throughout the rest, you could take like a college level placement test or whatever for the class, because you would be in on your senior year. You'd be in Spanish, French, or German 5 instead of 4. That was not the situation for me. I should have just taken Latin. I think Latin would have just been a cool class to take and like just learn about how words exist and what they came from. But you know, shout out, go back. And I could have gone to Rome. I think our senior year or whatever year it was. But whatever.
But yeah, Matt, I can agree with your stance on Oktoberfest. It's just been like, okay. I've just had. I mean,
you'd have to get those tables like 2 years in advance.
Yeah.
So if we want to go to something we'd have to figure out.
Yeah, exactly.
What, in Germany?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, dude, he's shown us so much stuff. You do. Yeah.
Dude, I bet you if you wanted to get a table for this upcoming Oktoberfest, you wouldn't be able to do it.
I promise you.
That's wild.
Yeah, dude.
Either because Corona or because they will be snagged, man. Like, yeah, like it's crazy. He's shown us so many videos. Like, there are so many people that go.
I mean, you're not really doing without a table. I don't like. What is there to do?
Yeah.
I guess just stand around and get pissed drunk instead of sitting down and getting pissed drunk.
Yeah, dude, that stuff's crazy. But Matt, you have the last set of honorable mentions.
Greece wasn't originally on my radar, but after it was brought up, I feel like it'd be a really fun trip.
Hey, let's get it.
Especially for the food. I really love Mediterranean food.
Mediterranean food is so good.
Italy was something I was toying with, just because of the food. I don't like obviously seeing the stuff is really cool, but I would definitely want to go and experience the authentic Italian cuisine. I follow one of the streamers that I follow on Twitter. He's from Italy. So and he's always like posting what he's eating all the time, and I'm just like, this looks so much better than anything I could get here. I really want to fly over there and get lunch.
That's where the real carbs live.
Yeah, honestly. And my other honorable mention is the Grand Canyon.
The Grand Canyon. I would like to see the Grand Canyon. The problem is I hear all kinds of people that they're like, you see it and then you just want to leave.
Well, I feel like you wouldn't like I wouldn't want to just go see it. Like I would want to go like hike down it and stuff and like go whitewater rafting in the canyon.
Oh yeah, whitewater
like
rafting.
make a whole trip out of it.
You know what's really weird that has stuck with me like through all these years of my life? It's in 5th grade. You remember we used to take those tests where we would read like a section, like we'd like read a thing and then we'd answer questions. No, not even speed read. It was like it was almost like a practice PSSA or something like that, where you'd like read a section and then you take a quiz on it, and then you read a section and take a quiz on it. Then there were like math, so it was like practice PSSAs or something or whatever. But like on one of them, right, it was this like article about, and the only reason it's like I think it sticks out to me so much is because it was, I think, the only one that I've ever did that I was like, oh, this is actually kind of interesting, you know. But it was this idea of comparing what was, I think it was like Ponce de Leon. He was the one who found the Grand Canyon, who first discovered the Grand Canyon. He compared his perception and way he saw the Grand Canyon to someone now. And the idea of him as a person who's never seen anything like that on the earth at all, never having any frame of reference. If somebody were to describe it to him, he'd probably make up whatever he made up, but nothing could compare to the actual sight of the Grand Canyon. But now, you know, for us, if we want to go see the Grand Canyon, we've seen the Grand Canyon before. We've seen pictures of the Grand Canyon. We've seen what it looks like. We've seen like schematics of it. We've seen layouts of it. We've seen like the aerial and all the stuff of the Grand Canyon. So like compared basically his perception of the Grand Canyon, seeing it for the first time ever in his life, never having anything to reference it, never seeing anything like it at all compared to ours, and basically comparing what did it mean for him compared to what does it mean for us, you know?
I think it would be cool, like if I had that kind of a.
And we're just like, big hole in the ground.
Yeah, because like we've seen it. We've seen pictures of it. We've seen video of it. We've already seen it. But to have never seen anything like it before, like imagine if you've never seen a picture of the Grand Canyon. You just heard someone say, "Oh, it's this big crater in the ground," and then you first see it. I feel like that'd be such a much more powerful feeling, such a more powerful experience.
Our generation now is just like one big spoiler alert for anything you've ever wanted to see, pretty much.
Right, and I think I don't know. I mean, this is like kind of getting away from a lot of the stuff we were talking about today, but like I think it's like more so kind of like the idea of like it's hard to be surprised with something like that, you know. Like I don't know if there's any like geographical thing that can shock anyone to that level, at least who lives in America and has access to, you know, books and TV
but
and
like
all that stuff.
You can see like thousands of different like pictures of like the Northern Lights and stuff, but like actually like seeing it, you're like, holy crap, like this blew me away. Or same like, you know, with going into the
right,
a Great Barrier Reef, or seeing like, you know, Grand Canyon, to be like, wow, this is actually beautiful.
Right.
Like, you know.
No, I mean,
it can just be easy to dismiss something because you've seen pictures of it.
Do you agree?
No, I agree with you. I just, and I'm not saying it can't be powerful. I'm not by any means. I'm saying that like, you know, the experience of seeing the Grand Canyon couldn't be this monumentous thing for you. But imagine if you never saw it. Imagine if you just heard lights in the sky. You know, you just, oh, these lights, they float in the sky, and you never seen anything about the Northern Lights. You don't understand really what they are. Then you see them. I feel like that's going to be so much more powerful than anything you could currently have. Like, yeah, it might affect you in outstanding ways, but I don't think it would in the same way as if you never saw anything like it.
Right. But that's just kind of, how we are now.
No, right, and I'm not saying it's better or worse. I'm just,
No, yeah. No, I can understand.
For
I
me, it was
understand what you're
interesting to think
getting at.
about. That's why it stuck out to me as much as it did. But
Well, boys, and everyone listening, that is the end of this episode of Top 5. Thank you all so much for listening to today's show, and let us know whose list you agree with the most. Should be mine.
why is it mine?
Yeah. What?
Everyone loves a grease wrong. What are you talking about?
Okay. If you like what you heard, please be sure to leave a like, rating, and share our podcast. Have a great one, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
We'll see you guys. Happy New Year.
See ya.
Happy New Year again.
Happy New Year again.